Hi there. Thank you for joining this live chat session. A warm welcome to all of you. Three new stories in this live chat for you. Uh, Firstly, uh, let me welcome the participants first, then a summary of today's new stories, and then one by one, I'll speak on these three topics for you. Klaus New, as always, is the first one. Warm welcome to you, Klaus New. Samuel Faleke joined too, stays in touch with me on several platforms. Tiago Mengisha joined. Burji Suyama here. Righteous Life says hi. Haptamo says, who is your information source? Haptamo is asking a very interesting question. Let me address this question a little. My stories are not about one region of Ethiopia or one country. I am covering Tigray, Amhara, Afar, Somali, Oromia, little bit of BG, Gambala too. I'm covering Ethiopian foreign policy, Ethiopian economic crisis, Ola, Fano, TPLF, TDF, little bit of Djibouti to Ethiopia Somalia tension, Ethiopia Somaliland tension. So it means that the sources are multiple. Luckily, I have this luxury of having dozens of sources. So it's not difficult for me to verify anything. I can easily get information from any part of Ethiopia, and I can get verification as well. And credit for making videos goes to the people. And by the way, viewers, you people are also my sources. Sometimes when I'm covering a new story from a particular area, people from that area contact me. They trust me, they want to be anonymous, but they share information with me. So, and then I have several friends who voluntarily support me in translation of content, some dedicated ones too. So it's a team. My views and news is not just Sajid or Sarah, it's a team. You and Sajid make it possible. Uh, Goitiom Gizai says hi. S says hi. Ephraim Tisfai, greeting. Shalom Sajid. Abdi Sas Abdi says hi. S Nahom Architect says good evening Sajid. Kinfe Tisfai says hi. Yid, Yid Nicaccio Tarico, why are Trigger happy? Who is Trigger happy? Sarum Marasa, hi Sajid, good seeing you. Thank you, Sarum. Korko Dang, I heard that heavy rains kill at least 35 people. Yes, in Pakistan, rains are devastating sometimes. Galmo, I'm happy to see you, says. Thank you, Galmo. JP, those soldiers are ENDF. I could not confirm that. Sangara TV says, hello, brother Sajid, nice to see you. Abdi Shakur says, Assalamu alaikum. Mimi Hagos says, hi. Adosh Gabrigzaber says, hello. Dr. Admaso YouTube. Dr. Adams, how are you, my friend, today? I'm fine, Dr. Admaso. How are you? Ali Chode, who is the owner of this Volkiti. Uh, Three news stories. First one is about the status of Wolkait. Western zone, Tigray calls it Western Tigray. Amhara region calls it Wolkait. Wolkait Humera Sagade. Uh, Thank you, Abdi Sas Abdi, for buying the super chat sticker. And Daniel Amde, thank you for buying this super chat sticker. Both of you, Daniel Amde and Abdi Sas, thanks to both of you. Godulia says, as a medical doctor, nothing is more delightful than your improving health. Thank you for your wishes, for your prayers for me. Wolkait, yours disputed territory. It seems that government is going to make a decision about Wolkait. Abraham Bale, who's a Tigrayan, I think, he spoke about Wolkait a few hours ago. What did he say? What is government going to do? And will people like Damascus Zadu accept what government is going to do in Wolkait? Secondly, Hamza Dibare spoke today, Somalia's prime minister. He talked about Ethiopia, he talked about Ethiopian troops in Somalia, about Ethiopian embassy, Ethiopian airlines. And thirdly, Somaliland Ethiopia cooperation. A technical team visited Berbera port today, comprising both Ethiopian and uh, Somaliland's technical experts. Peace and Love joined to another member. Warm welcome to you, Peace and Love. S says, if the IMF meeting fails, Ethiopia will use its air force. Yeah, it seems that maybe the upcoming IMF meeting is stopping Ethiopia from deploying all its air assets against Fano fighters, because already international media, human rights organizations are speaking about human rights abuses, drone strikes, which happened last month, and before that, which caused civilian casualties. So, if new drone strikes are conducted and civilians die, obviously, Ethiopia could lose US support, which is key for Ethiopia to get bailout package from IMF. US government obviously does not want to be seen at home as a supporter of human rights abuses. That is why maybe a message to Ethiopia from US, or Ethiopia has decided on its own that it should not continue with intensified air campaign. Otherwise, its prospects of getting bailout package could be dim. Alex Avoke joined to Kibriya Kidane. Isfai Bire. Hello, Sajid. First of all, I wish you well. Is Ibrahim Bale trustworthy? Well, Sili is talking about Karachi, a Pakistani city. Orom Ticha Oromia says, I'm quite happy to see you that you have recovered and serving us. However, most of my friends, non-Amharas in Ethiopia, call you Fano, Baliana, meaning Pakistan, Amhara Fano. Well, people used to call me TDF. Some call me Ola, some call me Abis, paid propagandists. I don't worry about these labels. My job is to report, to share the true picture with you. That is what I'll do, no matter what people call me. I don't worry about these names and name calling. You gave a hint on an ongoing operation of Fano yesterday. Well, Uh, yes, I gave a hint. I won't speak more on that. Dofano entered Debris Sina yesterday, but what I was talking about was something big which has not happened so far. So I'll speak on that after a few days. GX Ferengi joined to another member. Welcome, GX Ferengi. He says, Hi, Sajid, sounding better. You are a journalist, and that is what we appreciate. Thank you, GX Ferengi. I'm just a student of the Horn of Africa politics. Now, let me start with yours. Wolkait, western zone of Tigray. It was part of Tigray before the start of war, but Amhara region, Amhara groups had claims to Wolkait. They've been saying that it was TPLF's EPRDF and before EPRDF as well, that Amharas were expelled from this part, Wolkait, and Wolkait was annexed by TPLF. Tigray maintains that Wolkait has always been part of Tigray, and that after the war broke out in November 2020, Amhara forces, supported by Eritrean military, forcibly seized Wolkait, and Tigray wants the return of Wolkait. Raya as well, southern part. But the main bone of contention between Tigray and Amhara is Wolkait, not Raya, though Amhara has claims to Raya as well. We know that a few days ago, Ethiopian federal government proposed a solution to break the deadlock over Wolkait, saying that referendum should be held here, IDP should return as well. But Tigray rejected that proposal, saying that a referendum cannot be mandated by Tigray government now. Tigray government is not empowered to do that. Only Tigray Regional Council can do that. So there is still a deadlock there. Abraham Bale is Ethiopian defense minister. He is a Tigrayan. He served as interim president of Tigray. If you remember, when Ethiopian military took control of Tigray in 2020, he was the second interim president appointed by federal government. He served as interim president, supported by ENDF, while TPLF and TDF were fighting in Tambian. Later, when TPLF returned to Makale, this interim setup was dismantled, and Abraham Ali returned to Addis Ababa. He was appointed as defense minister. Abraham Bale has announced that government has decided to establish a transitional administration in Wolkai, and work is underway on that. It is going to be put in place very soon, and after that, IDPs will start returning. It's a very big announcement by Abraham Bale. Why? Because if you remember, Damake Zedu, colonel, who has been fighting to make Wolkait part of Amhara for years, has been saying that IDPs are not genuine IDPs. Those who are in Tigray are not genuine, true residents of the area. They were settled here to change the demographic balance. He has been opposing the return of IDPs, and he's the main man in Wolkait. He is training militias, he's training police here, he's deputy administrator here, he is head of peace and security. And he's working in very close collaboration with the Ethiopian National Defense Force. Will Dramake Zaidu agree to disbandment of the existing structure led by him? This is the important question. Let me welcome Mihari too, who has been in touch with me for almost 3 years. Mihari could not attend live chats, so he's back after some time. How are you doing, Mihari? So, how is Colonel Damake Zadul administration going to respond to this announcement? It's very important. Will he support the establishment of a transitional government here, or will he oppose it? And by the way, Damake Zadu faced criticism, fierce criticism from Fano supporters last month when he criticized Fano groups when we saw his pictures with Ethiopian National Defense Force too. I think he was interviewed too on Ethio Forum, and some remarks were attributed to him, suggesting that he opposed the path chosen by Fano groups. Damak Zadu is only concerned about Wolkait. He's not uh, going to fight in support of Fano groups in Gondar or in Guj. He wants to be in charge in Wolkait. He wants to ensure that Wolkait remains part of the Amhara region. And for that he wants the people, the groups in Amhara to support that administration in Wolkait. So let's see if Ethiopian federal government decides to establish an interim setup in Wolkait, what will happen? Will Damak Zadu accept the new arrangement or not? Or will he rebel with thousands of fighters, militia members serving under him? Situation could escalate in Wolkait. Abraham Bale, did he share government's position or was he sharing his personal views? Obviously, he's a Tigrayan. Maybe he's closer to Tigrayans. These days, Tigray and federal government are not on good terms. The federal government has launched Abraham Bale that he should talk to TPLF and TDF. They should try to improve the fracture ties between the federal government and Tigray interim government, and that is why Abraham Bale is sending a message to Tigray that soon IDPs will return as interim service going to be established in Tigray. So coming days crucial. Let's see. Will he walk his talk? Will the interim setup be put in place in Volkai? That we'll see in coming days. Santa Apollo says, hello Sajid, you are the best war analyst. Keep up. Well done. Thank you, Santa. I just learn from you people. I'm a student of Ethiopian, Eritrean, Horn of Africa politics. But people trust me. That is why I get true information and I build my analysis on that information, on that feedback which I get from the ground. Waterfall says, I heard Ethiopia start using Wagner mercenaries. I have no information about the Wagner presence in Ethiopia. How can Fano defend Ethiopia if they're not able to get back Al Fashaq? Al Fashaq, oh, yes, Fano groups cannot take Al Fashaq on their own without support from ENDF because if they enter Sudan, it would be a violation of Sudan's sovereignty and territorial integrity. And if ENDF does not support Fano fighters in Al Fashaga, what will happen there? I don't think Fano fighters will risk that, take this type of risk. Janel Tothai Sajid, I use YouTube just to watch you. Thank you. I've recovered a lot, but still not fully recovered because one wound is still healing. Overall, I have recovered. I have resumed my walk, but it will take a few days more, I think. Tikim Tefira joined to welcome Tikim. Obsan Bia says Damek Zaidu is playing gambling card. From all sides, he's buying credit values to survive, even if Ethiopia will be felt. Yemaskan says Sajid, when Fano wins this war, Matakal, Al Fashaga, Raya, Wolkait, and no more Romania special zone. Well, Yemaskan problem is that when Fano groups start talking about Matakal, Romania special zone, Wolkait, don't you think they alienate other regions, other ethnic groups? Before this live chat, I was talking to a man based in the US, I think, Profano, and he admitted that he was Profano. And we agreed on one point. And that point is that Fano cannot bring about any change in Ethiopia without finding allies in Ethiopia. Fano groups will have to make concessions, will have to woo other ethnic groups, will have to form alliance if they want to take their movement to a new level. On their own, they cannot bring about revolutionary change in Ethiopia. They'll have to find allies. But the problem is that when Fano groups talk about Valega, Matakal, Wolkait, Oromia Special Zone, North Shore Zone of Amhara, Oromia, they alienate other groups. Other groups feel insecure. So that is here, I think, Fano groups need to work. I think they need to review their strategies and plans. JX Farang is talking about Beniam Girme, who got third in Tirano Adriatica Stage 2. Beniam is uh, the face of Africa in cycling world. Incredible man. Alex Awoke says, Sajid, these are propaganda. This is propaganda. By the way, this is not propaganda. It's not that anti-Fano elements spread this propaganda because I am in touch with people, in touch with Fano planners, strategists. Yes, they won't admit that publicly, officially, but that is what they think, that is what they're planning. They have their claims to Matikal, to Volkai, to parts of Oromia, to Oromia Special Zone. If they don't have any claims, they should uh, issue some statements jointly, talk to other ethnic groups, reach some uh, common points on which they can agree to take this movement to a new level. But they have their claims, but they won't admit that publicly, I think. Now, second news story of yours is about Somalia's Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Bare, who spoke today. Hamza Abdi Bare claimed that Somalia is showing restraint regarding Ethiopia Somaliland MOU. He said, he mentioned 3 points. He said, Ethiopian troops are still in Somalia. It's a sign of restraint shown by Somalia. Secondly, he said that Ethiopian ambassador to Somalia not declared persona non grata. Ethiopian embassy operational in Somalia. Thirdly, he said Ethiopian airlines still operating in Somalia. These three points indicate that Somalia is showing self restraint, but no talks with Ethiopia. He said this issue is non negotiable. Ethiopia will have to withdraw from the MOU. Only then can talks start. And he said that we should not reopen the wounds of the past, bitter past. So, what Hassan Sheikh has been saying was repeated today by Hamza Abdibare, that no talks. Abiy trying to talk to uh, Hassan Sheikh, but Somalia's government adamant that no talks. So either Abiy will have to step back, withdraw from the MOU, or if Abiy decides to implement the MOU, then Somalia will have to take uh, uh, some decisions to stop Ethiopia. So far, deadlock there, we can say. Meanwhile, visits of Ethiopian officials to Somaliland increasing now. Sarah reported today about a mysterious flight from Ethiopia to Somaliland on the 4th of March. Sorry. The flight took off from Bishafto Air Force Base in Oromia, landed in Hargeisa, and we know that it means it was a military flight carrying arms or carrying Ethiopian military officers. And yesterday we saw pictures of some Ethiopian military officers having some meetings in Somaliland. And today we saw pictures of Ethiopian technical experts visiting Berbera port. Ethiopian and Somaliland's technical experts visited Berbera port today. So, on the one hand, Somalia says it won't talk to Ethiopia. On the other hand, Ethiopia is saying it respects Somalia's sovereignty, territorial integrity. At the same time, slowly, Ethiopia is working towards the implementation of the MOU. So far, Ethiopia has not made a big, it has not taken a big step towards implementation of MOU. Preparation is underway. Somaliland has hired a British law firm which is drafting the agreement, which will be signed. Technical level committee has been formed by Ethiopia and Somaliland, which visited Berbera today. Military officers on both sides holding meetings. That is what is happening. Meanwhile, Ethiopia requested Ruto to mediate as well. So a lot is happening, but no one is sure what Abiy is up to. Will he withdraw from the MOU? Will he just freeze the MOU that he won't announce public withdrawal at the same time? He won't move towards implementation. Let's see. Coming days crucial. So far, we can say that the implementation has been delayed. That is what we can say. Sammy has joined too as well. Sammy is a member. How are you, Sammy? Hope you're doing fine. S call here as well. Yini Music, another member here. Kibrom Yerga. Do you think TPLF and EPLF could agree and cooperate against PP? No. I have been saying that for the last 2 years. I don't see any strategic alliance between Tigray and Eritrea. Why? Because Tigray has been devastated. Tigray was it's a small region, but it was a developing region. It lost a lot in this war. Tigray's economy devastated, and Tigray has gone decades behind. And Tigray blames Asmara that had there been no Eritrean military, maybe TDF would have been in Addis Ababa by now. So wounds are very deep, inflicted on Tigray. I don't think that TPLF would agree to work with Eritrea to remove Abiy. Rather, if TPLF got a chance, opportunity in future to move towards Asmara, TPLF would like to move towards Asmara than towards Addis Ababa. That is my analysis. It's not based on any uh, feedback, but my analysis is that there wouldn't be any strategic alliance between Tigray and Asmara. Assalamu alaikum, someone says. His name is in Amharic, I think. Someone is talking about value of birr, which is declining. Yes. Yemaskan is talking about the Tigray Fano deal, that Tigray has a chance to strike a deal with Fano. Tigray can strike a deal with Fano only if Fano shows flexibility about Wolkait. If today Fano decides to show flexibility to Tigray about Wolkait, we could see sudden improvement of relations between Tigray and otherwise, I don't think that Tigray would like to be part of Fano's campaign to reach Addis Ababa. While Tigray knows that Fano is not going to make any compromise on Wolkait. TT says new Ethiopian contract is needed, states without ethnic borders. That is what I've been proposing for the last 2 years. I've been saying Ethiopia needs a new start. Keeping history aside, keeping colonial decisions aside, keeping interethnic violence of the past aside. But for that new beginning, all parties, all players in Ethiopia will have to start comprehensive dialogue to agree on some common agenda for future. That comprehensive dialogue is nowhere to be seen. Can Fano, Ola, TDF sit at the same table? Fano, Ola, TDF, Orthodox Church, military, Prosperity Party, Oromo Liberation Front, Oromo Federalist Congress, ONLF, and other parties to all will have to sit at the table to chalk out new constitution, or you can say new rules of the game for Ethiopia. That is the way forward. But do you see any signs of such comprehensive, broad dialogue? No. Yeni Music is asking about UAE's interest in East Africa. I think I did some videos on that, Yeni. I talked about UAE's desire to be in Red Sea, Indian Ocean countries. UAE wants to be in charge of ports here because UAE is basically not a Red Sea country, but just like Turkey is here, Turkey has its navy deployed to Somalia's territorial waters. UAE wants to be here as well. That is why UAE has shares in Berbera port, in some ports in Somalia as well. UAE built Djibouti's port too. It used Asab as well. Secondly, UAE has regional global agenda too. It wants to be a player in Africa. It that is why it is involved in in Sudan. It is backing rapid support forces because rapid support forces own companies are operating through Dubai, through the UAE. Thirdly, UAE needs lands here. UAE wants to grow crops, fruits, vegetable, grain, etc. for its people in Africa. UAE has several interests in this part of the world. And since this part of the world, part of Africa is very strategic because of the shipping route. That is why UAE would like to have its presence in Ethiopia, in Somaliland, in Somalia. From Djibouti, it was kicked out. From Eritrea too, it had to go, I think. And it's a fight for dominance between Middle Eastern countries. To some extent, you can say that. We bought a coastal piece of land from Egypt too this month. $35 billion investment in Egypt. $11 billion deposited. Coastal area again. UAE is interested in being in charge of course. And there are other points too. I did a video in Musica a few days ago. These are main points, but in some separate video, I'll do another analysis on that. Bilal Moshe joined to Marcus. Marcus joined after some time. How are you, Marcus? Yamaskan says, Sajid, you should do a video of Sarah. I'm pretty sure she's going to be a great journalist growing up. Yeah, she's learning. AZ King joined to uh, Yini. I spoke about that just a few minutes ago. How reliable is UAE as a partner? Well, if Ethiopia and UAE have common interests, then UAE is reliable. No one is reliable, by the way. Where your interests match, you form an alliance. So if Ethiopia and UAE share the same views about regional politics, about regional developments, they're allies. If they have both, so if both of them have common interests, they can be allies. If they have different interests, they cannot be allies. Because 48 minutes have passed, 40 minutes have passed. I think we should end this live chat session. Always good to be with you in these live chat sessions where I can speak a little freely, respond to your questions. Hamza says, hi, Sajid. Do you think that Wagner is involved in Ethiopia Somaliland process? I don't know. I have no information about Wagner's presence in Somaliland or in. Thank you for watching this live chat, viewers. See you tomorrow in the next live chat session. Stay blessed. Bye bye.